a touch of jazz, and then some special guests coming in. So maybe an hour and a half. Is that?
Yeah, it'll be a one-set show. We're going to start at 7 o'clock. We've got some beverages and snacks that are going to be donated by some local businesses, which is terrific. Music will start at 7:30. So, you know, we'll do some tunes. We're going to bring up the Presbyterian choir is going to come and sing, so that'll be fun. Yeah.
And you just buy tickets at the door, or can you get them ahead of time?
You can buy tickets at the door. It's $18 at the door, but if you order online, we've got a website called gardengroove.org. So if you go to gardengroove.org, you can buy them right online, and then it's $12. You can also go to the Vines website.
Great.
They're available at the church. We also have postcards we've been distributing around town, and I think they're going to be available at some venues for the first Friday.
Good deal.
So if you see these postcards, bring them with you to the show, and then you get a discount price.
Excellent. Yeah. So the gardengrooves.org.
It's gardengroove.org. Yeah.
Gardengroove.
Nice and easy to remember.
Garden Groove.
Yeah.
And then may as well do the other websites too while we're at it. The vinesgardens.org. I'm sure there's something there too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
you can buy
then
tickets right online.
Dana you have your own website.
Yes, if you can spell it, folks, there it is for you. DanaLaCroix.com, and then you can get information about some of my CDs and the tours. We're going to be going on a mini tour. We're sort of starting our tour here in Binghamton with the benefit concert, because we were going to be here rehearsing anyway, because we're doing Oneonta on Sunday, then we're going down to DC, and then later on we're going to go over to Europe.
Terrific.
So we thought, we're going to be here rehearsing, why not do a show for the Binghamton community? And it kind of made a lot of sense.
It'll all fall together,
Yeah.
and we'll get to watch maybe some music in development as you move. So do you perform your original music completely, or do you sing?
Most of my repertoire is original stuff. I'd say it's about 75% original.
Yeah.
I do some traditional songs as well. I do kind of a fun version of John Henry. Do you remember that one? It's an old traditional ballad on the spoons.
Yeah.
And then I do some cover songs of my favorite artists, Randy Newman and Mose Allison and people like that. But it's mostly original.
Now, what did it feel like to get a blurb from Gordon Lightfoot? I mean, that's...
That was pretty amazing. My dad went to school with him years ago. They went to music school together. My father was also a musician. And he ran into him on the street, a number of years ago, and handed him my CD, and then so he came home to me one night. He said, "So Dana, I ran into Lightfoot the other day, and he really, really likes your stuff, and I'm just like, Gordon Lightfoot. I grew up with sitting at the piano singing, if you could read my Gordon Lightfoot." So that was big for me. And then we talked on the phone, and he offered to give me a quote, and so it was very exciting for me, because when you're creating and you're sitting in your little bedroom writing your songs and strumming your guitar, and you go out and you play your tunes, there's always this sense of, this is my little baby that I've created. Can it walk? Does it have legs in the world? And when you get that kind of response from someone who has been doing it for that long and who you revere, it really helps to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing.
You bet. Yeah.
Because you're always trying to make a connection.
Yeah. Well, it's always wonderful to be validated by someone whom you've grown up with and whom you trust, and they're not doing it just to make you feel good,
Well, I think you can tell when someone's response is sincere.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I really love about playing live. I do know musicians who prefer to be in the studio.
Yeah.
Where you can manipulate things, and you've got all these creative ideas that you want to put together with different tracks. But for me, the joy is always going out and playing live, communicating with people, connecting, seeing the reactions, and you can feel it. It's palpable.
Yeah.
When you're really reaching people. And something that I also really like to do, which you'll see at the concert on Saturday, is get people involved, because to me, music is a very communal thing, which is why I like to work with kids. And there's a real connection for me with working with the gardening and the nonprofit groups, because what you're doing is you're creating healthy community. You're getting people out creating things.
Yes.
And I really believe that kind of brings us closer to our humanity.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the concert. We're going to have a percussionist come up. He's one of the members of the church. He's going to do some playing. We've got a saxophone player from a local band who's going to come up and play. And then the choir is going to come up and sing on one of the tunes. So, it's a sort of community experience.
That's terrific. Well, I think I'll be there. think
Oh,
I'm
well, we
yeah.
expect to be there.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can sell some tickets too. We'll see how that works out. Well, and the wonderful thing too is the connection. You mentioned the sense of community that you build at a concert, and the sense of community that's built as you're working together to plan and to harvest a garden. I mean, it's just, that's bringing people together. And say something about the importance of that to a city like Binghamton.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's interesting because gardening is related to so many different interests that people have and skills that people have.
Yeah.
We have a plethora of opportunities for folks to get involved, anywhere from making a donation to coming out and volunteering and farming, or to encouraging their child to visit our farm and participate in one of our educational activities.
Right.
So it's great with this project with VINES. We've seen all sorts of folks, from the university, from the residents, the neighborhoods, business owners, chefs. Everyone can play a part in it. Musicians doing benefit concerts, and so that's really important. Everyone sort of coming together in the community and producing something great and very tangible and real, and then giving that food back out into the community.
It's
in an affordable way.
intergenerational.
It is.
So there is
Absolutely.
some mentoring going on, I suppose.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, it's so important for us too to have that youth voice presence in everything that we do.
Yeah.
And the urban farm very much was in 2010 when we built the urban farm, our largest site, which is on 4 contiguous vacant lots.
Where?
Right in downtown Binghamton off of Susquehanna Street.
Yeah.
And so those 4 lots had burned down vacant houses on them that had flooded and then were demolished, and so we're left with this giant vacant site. And so with the help of teenagers, local teenagers, that site was built up, and now we produce 2,000 pounds of food just on those 4 lots.
It's kind of a
every
perfect
year.
circle, the way you guys do things. This is what I really love about VINES and why I'm so excited about the organization, is that it's not, they don't just address one issue in the city. It's the whole perfect circle. You take the vacant lots, you plant the gardens, you hire the youth, you teach them, you donate the food back. I think that kind of a circular approach is so awesome.
And it changes the community for a long time to come, too.
Right.
Sure.
If you think of a 12-year-old who goes out and for the first time perhaps tastes a fresh vegetable.
Sure.
Pull it out of the ground, wash it off, peel it if you want to, but this is the pure taste of that vegetable that maybe they've never had before.
Yeah.
That changes them, not just in their food choices, but also perhaps that leads them to begin to apply those gardening skills in some other ways. And it certainly builds, again, a sense of community so that people are they're starting to work together. They see what working together can do.
Absolutely, and the great thing about kids, the thing I love about working with kids is that they've got this sort of natural appreciation for the miracle.
Yes.
Like, well, first of all, food right out of the ground tastes completely different. Even if you've had a carrot from the supermarket, when you pull it out of the ground and you dust it off and you taste it.
Yeah.
But when you see these kids, digging for potatoes, we were digging for potatoes one day.
Trying to find them.
And it was like Christmas. It was like, I found one.
Yeah.
It's just that miracle, which we kind of, as we get older, get a little bit immune to.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
right.
it really is miraculous that
you go to the grocery store or you go to the
Or
fast food and
even
you
when-
get
yeah.
a French fry. You don't have that experience
No.
when you're digging that potato out of the
Sure.
ground, and
You bet.
you planted that in
Oh, they get-
May, Labor Day, and
It really worked.
So there are 7 gardens throughout the city, and
Well, actually 8 now. We just talked with Salvation Army. Just built a garden, and we've been partnering with them, and they decided to join our network. It's still very much the Salvation Army garden, but with our expertise and help.
Excellent.
Sure. So 8 now, 120 garden plots throughout the city of Binghamton, which, given the Binghamton being a small city, we're pretty proud of that. And that's not including the urban farm, which is then four lots, and the various school gardens and different church gardens that we've offered support to over the years.
I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a benefit eventually.
Please, anyone is welcome to garden with us.
Let me summarize now. We have a VINES benefit concert featuring Dana LaCroix, who's one of our guests today, on Saturday, March 12th at 7 o'clock at the United Presbyterian Church at 42 Shenango Street in Binghamton. Tickets are available at the door. You can go to a website, which is Well, vinesgardens.org is one. Dana LaCroix has her own, if you can spell her last name. And that's danalacroix.com. And then the other one is Garden Groove.
Garden Groove, nice and easy to remember.
.org.
Yeah.
Okay, so
if I could, Jeff, before we wrap up, I just want to appeal to people. You know, if you come out to this concert, first of all, you're going to have a great time because it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to put on a real fun show. And the Vines Gardens organization really could use some help with their funding for the youth programs. The monies, all the ticket sales will be going to the youth programs, the youth education programs. So we really, really hope that people will come out, support the concert, support the Vines organization in their work, and have a great time and get to know some people in the community while you do it.
great. Thank you for being with us for the Encounter program. Be gentle with people in the coming week and with yourself.